Hi, I'm Daniel Thornton, Head of Music and Creative Arts here at AC, and this is an intro video to the unit Develop Instrumental Techniques, CUAMPF405. This is sort of one of the more basic units that gets you started in developing your skills in a particular instrument. It doesn't replace one-on-one lessons, and I really encourage you, if you want to, this is great alongside that, but if you really want to forge ahead more quickly, then I encourage you to get private lessons. Someone who knows exactly where you're up to, someone who can, week by week, can help you improve and help you set goals and contribute to your instrumental technique and skills. But alongside of that, this unit is there to help you set your own goals, to help you establish the disciplines of personal practice, and to gain some general understanding around whatever instrument you play. So let's take a little look at the content and then the learning outcomes and assessments. This is an extremely practical unit, as so many of them are in the Diploma of Music industry. It's not just sitting in a chair listening to someone talk about something, it's actually getting in there and doing it. You don't get better at an instrument by reading up about the instrument's history. You get better by getting on that instrument and practicing and doing the things that you've planned to do and that you know are going to move you forward. So a lot of this is about you getting in there and doing it, and in that process there's 4 things that we're looking to assess. One is develop control over instrument. Pretty clear, but if you've ever first tried to play a brass instrument or a wind instrument, if you haven't played them before, or a string instrument, you'll know how little control you have. You get a sound sometimes and not at other times. The bow on the string sometimes screeches, and as you improve, as you work on that, you gain control over the instrument, and you can consistently produce the sounds that you would expect that instrument to make. 2, maintain and care for instrument. Instruments are often pretty expensive, and good care of an instrument will make that investment last a lot longer, and that's always a good thing. 3, develop techniques. So obviously with any particular instrument there is a unique technical skills required. It might be in terms of your embouchure, it might be in terms of the way that you're holding a bow or the way that you're holding an instrument. It could be in terms of the way that pitch is produced, the way that certain fingers are made to produce pitches. So many different techniques, and those are related specifically to the instrument that you're on. I remember when I was learning piano, when I went to the conservatorium, my teacher took one look at my technique on the piano and said, "Nah, got to completely change it. It's terrible technique." And it took me a good year, probably 2 years, to really master the new technique that my teacher was trying to show me. And at the time I thought, really, I've been playing for years, it's been okay till now. But she knew from her vantage point that the technique that I had was not going to sustain me through the very difficult, very technically difficult work that I was going to build up to, and I needed a technique that was going to be able to support that. Finally, the 4th learning outcome, perform pieces from a range of repertoire. And that's always a good thing, not just doing the piece that you love over and over and over again, but exploring the possibilities of what it is to play music on your instrument, and doing that from a wider range of repertoire. So all of that culminates in 3 assessments. No, 2 assessments? 3 assessments, yes. A practice journal, And there's a practice journal for quite a few of the units, and that's because this is a regular and ongoing process of improvement. And so the way to measure that is, of course, actually keeping track. When did I last practice? Sometimes we can kind of fool ourselves into thinking, oh yeah, I did that yesterday, but actually 4 days have gone past and we didn't do it. So a practice journal is a great way. It's not just about reporting it to the assessor, it's actually about you getting to understand what are the patterns of rehearsal that I'm building into my routines, my daily routines. So there's a practice journal, assessment 1, and then there are performances on your instrument at whatever level you're up to. So, we're not making demands on what level you should be playing at, but of course, as you're practicing, you're going to be improving, and so there's 2 formative performances. Generally, I would suggest they should be in week 6 and week 12, and it's not specifically that those have to be the weeks, it's just the idea that during this 18, 20 weeks, however long you've got, that you've got 3 performances, 2 formative performances for assessment 2, and then a final summative performance, and then you've got time in between those to work on the next piece and to continue your process of improvement. So that's all of that. Take a look at the performance criteria. They go into more of the nitty-gritty of what you should expect from yourself and what we'll be expecting from you. And enjoy exploring and expanding your capacity, skills and knowledge with the instrument that you choose to play.